What's up everybody? My name's Dan. Welcome to Honestly. It's been over 12 months since I reviewed the Herman Miller Embody and gave you all the exclusive news that a headrest for the Embody was being developed by a company called Atlas Headrest. So after 12 months-ish, has my opinion about the Embody changed, especially since then I've gotten to review dozens and dozens of chairs, and also where in the world is the headrest? Well, let's get honest. The Embody Headrest was unfortunately, like many things, delayed due to the virus. Now, if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you do that because that's where I'm gonna post updates and that's where I'll be posting pictures of the prototype when I get it in, and when you see it there, you'll know that a video is imminent. Now, Atlas Headrest is not a big company. They're a small company and they sell literally one product. So when the pandemic comes and the supply chains got crushed, they basically were struggling to figure out like how do we keep the supply for the Aeron headrest up so we can sell that, because if you can't sell that one product, well then you don't have money to pay people's salaries, you don't have money to continue R&D on a product, and that's essentially what happened. They had to pivot away, focus on the Aeron for a bit, and things are still really bad, but they freed up just enough that now the headrest has been their #1 priority, and the new timeline for the Embody headrest release is end of 2022. Now, if you want to pick one up, you can use my code HONESTLY when it's time for $5 off. Two things. One is that if you email this link right here, I'm going to put it on the screen, you will be added to a waiting list, and when they get ready to go into production, when they finalize, the coloring and things like that, they will send you a link so that you can pre-order, and obviously you will get your order in the order that you pre-order. And again, you can use my link or you can use my code for $5 off. And also make sure you guys get subscribed because Atlas Headrest and I, we plan on doing something big together. I think we're gonna do it together. Not sure yet, we're still finalizing details, but at least I plan on doing something big, so make sure you guys get subscribed. What do I think about the Embody 1 year later? Well, I'll answer it in 3 questions. What do I still like about the chair? What do I dislike about the chair? And now that I've tested dozens and dozens of chairs since, how does the Embody rank? And if you see anything you like, even if it's not the Embody, if I've helped you find your perfect chair, please use my links when you make a purchase. That really, really helps this channel so much. And you can also support the channel by giving it a thumbs up. And I do read every single comment, and I mean every comment. The mean ones, the kind ones, the encouraging ones, the questions, even the bots and the haters, the racists, the fat jokes. I read all of them because for you to take a few seconds out of your day to hate me, I appreciate that. I still love that the backrest flexes with you. And I love that I can sit in a focus mode with my back straight up and I can be working like this. And then I can just immediately kind of fall back into the chair and relax. I love to stretch in my chairs. I love to just kind of like roll like this. And many chairs, their back frame doesn't allow for that because it's stiff. It's a single piece, or it's got a rigid piece of plastic, but this allows me to kind of flex and turn and stretch my back. And here's something that I learned in sitting in both of these chairs for a long period of time, is that the backrest on the regular Embody is actually less flexible than the gaming Embody's backrest. This one definitely flexes and moves a little bit easier and a little bit further than the non-gaming variant. I also love the way the backrest is designed. You see how it's a little bit skinnier here? So what that means is if you sit inside of the chair and then you want to pull your chest, you want to open up that chest, you can do so without your arms crashing into anything. A lot of other chairs go wide, they go rounded, and so when you pull those arms back, your tricep ends up crashing into the frame. With this one, you can fully spread that chest open as you sit. But it's not just that, it's also the height of the backrest. Right now I'm testing the Steelcase Amiya, and it is a fantastic, oh man, it is a super comfortable chair, but the backrest stops like right here. And so I've noticed that even though I'm not using the backrest the whole time when I'm sitting in this chair, I just really appreciate the ability to kind of sit back in it and lounge from time to time. Or even as I'm sitting up, I like my shoulder blades to just kind of touch something so it's got just a little bit of support. Now this Embody is the Balance fabric Embody. They don't make this anymore, but I was drawn to this. At the time, it was the highest tier fabric. I was drawn to it because of its breathability. As a matter of fact, if you shine a light through it, you can see all the colors through it, versus this is using a sync fabric, one specially designed for the gaming Embody. But if you were to shine a light through it, no light shines through. So it just goes to show the thinness of this material. And I thought the padding on the backrest was totally fine. I had no complaints. I found it perfectly fine until I tested this gaming Embody variant, and as soon as I sat in it, I was like, okay, that extra padding is really nice. However, these ridges here on the gaming Embody, if you're wearing a thin shirt, you can feel it. And I don't know about you, but it does bother me a little bit. I really like the arms on the Embody. They go up and down and they have a huge range of motion. You can see here they go like to my thigh level and they come all the way up here. And then you can swivel them in and have it like as tight as like touching my rib cage. and then out here, and then if you lower them, they go really far out. And just a warning, I'm gonna do some risque poses, but it's for science, I promise. I'm not just doing it for risque sake, okay? By the way, the arm pads are extremely stiff, and shout out to, and I forget their username, sorry, let me look at my script real quick, because this person deserves a shout out. Marcus Paquette for recommending this like arm pad for the Embody. This is super duper soft, so if you don't like how hard these armrests are, I highly recommend picking this up. Again, I'll link it down in the description below. I love the way that the armrests kind of go down and out of the way, because sometimes when I'm working and I'm typing, I can rest my forearms if I'm reading or watching something. Then when I go into typing mode, I can keep my elbows on them just a little bit, just to barely, just gingerly touch my elbows as I type. And then when I want to go into full out relax mode, I can push these down, pull them out, and then I can just lift my leg up onto the desk like so, and I can just be like this while I'm chilling and lounging back inside of the chair, just like this. And I really, really like that, because if the armrests were static, kind of like this, or if they went only down this far, like many chairs do, and I try to lift my leg up, like, I can't really see it that well here, but like, it would be like, sorry, they're moving because they can, but it would be like here, and it'd be crushing the side of my thighs. So I love that they just get out of the freaking way, so I can just like chill like this, I can be like this. All right, I'm not gonna spread my legs any more than that, but I can do that, and I love it. I love it. I get it. I understand the complaints though, because these aren't able to go forward, they're not able to come back, they're not able to swivel in and out, and more customization is always better. But for me personally, I find these to be perfect. Another difference to note is that the armrests on the gaming Embody are actually a lot looser than on my non-gaming Embody. Let me see if I can just demonstrate this. I can just literally push it and it does that. You shouldn't, by the way. You should be lifting it and pulling it in so you don't ratchet that mechanism. Now watch on my regular Embody. It takes a lot more force to move them in and out. The seat pan on this thing, I cannot say enough good things. It's freaking huge, it's soft all around, it comes out further, and it's incredible. I love it with the thing tucked in fully, and then I like to just spread my legs. Like, this is the way that I enjoy sitting. Because I'm sitting sideways, so y'all don't get a good shot, So, but this is the way that I like to sit. My wife, on the other hand, loves it because she likes to extend the seat pan fully out, open the arms up, and then she likes to curl up in the chair. And this is so easy to do because this thing just has so much room because it's soft everywhere. And then the flexibility of the mesh just kind of grabs those cheeks, and it just does such a good job. Every time I finish a review of a chair, I sit down in the Embody and it's always just like, it feels like home. I don't know how else to explain it, guys. Again, I was totally fine with the cushioning on my Balance Embody until I got the gaming Embody and I sat in it and I was like, dang it, that extra padding is really nice. My wife prefers the gaming Embody over my Balance Embody because of the extra cushion. But here's the thing, in February of 2021, Herman Miller actually added another, like they call it a scrim layer or extra scrim layer to their non-gaming variants. So their padding on their seats are actually more cushioned now than the one I have here. And I'm really jealous. I haven't been able to try the ones with the new scrim layer, but I hear it's amazing. And I hate you. What have I come to dislike about the Embody? Well, the lumbar support is probably the most universally hated thing about the Embody, and I totally get it. On the non-gaming variant, it feels like this bump. As a matter of fact, I've sat on this chair for so much now that the back material has kind of like flattened, or not flattened, but like bunched up. And so you can actually see the outline of everything going on in the back when it's in certain light. And it kind of looks like and feels like, when you buy new shoes, there's like that paper clump in the front, or sometimes a piece of cardboard that kind of looks like this. It's kind of like that, but with an extremely flat surface. And that's kind of what it feels like. And also, quick note, the lumbar is actually different on the non-gaming versus the gaming Embody. The gaming Embody actually, it feels like two pieces. It feels like a smaller bump with a flat pad that runs up and down. And I actually find it to be less comfortable than the non-gaming Embody's lumbar. But the reason why people don't like it is because it just kind of juts out like that and it just sits there. And I totally get it. The only way that I can sit comfortably with that is I have to sit, let me pull this arm down so you guys can see, but I have to sit basically with my butt totally on the backrest and then slowly slide down That way that lumbar piece kind of sits right in that nook of my back, and this is the way that I have to sit in order to get that piece out of the way. But what always happens is that slowly over the day, I'll slowly start to slide out of my chair, I'll slowly start to lose my correct posture, and I'll eventually kind of end up slouching a little bit like this. And at that point, I can start to feel this thing on my tailbone, I can start to feel it on my lower back, and I don't like it. And instead of rectifying my position back upwards like this into a proper seated position, I always find myself slouching down like this. And this is what I dislike about the Embody, is that it is way too comfortable to sit like this. The seat pan is huge, it's flexible. Even though this feels super duper comfortable, sitting like this for hours at a time, day after day, is going to atrophy a ton of my muscles. And Lord knows I need to preserve as little muscle that I have remaining now, I gotta preserve them. But at the same time, this is gonna affect things like my posture. This is gonna affect things like my back overall in terms of my back strength. It's gonna cause more back pain. I know these things are happening, and I have to constantly remind myself, like, it is good for me to sit in a proper position. I really hate the new price point of the Embody. These are now $1,800, $1,900, and that is absolutely ridiculous. And I don't love it. And this is why. Herman Miller doesn't make a ton of money off of individuals like you and me. They make their big bucks by selling their stuff to big offices, by supplying an entire office with their furniture. That's where their money comes from. Why are you squeezing consumers for a little bit of money? I get it, supply chain is squeezed and all that stuff, but like, you don't make that much money off of us anyway, so why not keep doing it? Anyways, just a personal rant. And the third thing that I dislike is these chairs make way too much noise. I'm gonna stop talking just so you guys can hear this stuff. Yeah, so if you're with people in the same room, that's something you might want to consider. If you're on a conference call, I don't think it's gonna get in the way of a conference call, but if you're on a speaker and it's not really doing a lot of noise canceling, you might be able to hear it reflected, and it can sound like you tooted a little bit. So how do the Embodies rank now that I've tested dozens and dozens of chairs? Well, for me, it's still the king, and I love this chair. I said it before, but every time I'm finished reviewing a chair, I always sit on the Embody, and it just feels like home to me. Here's the interesting part, is that I tested a ton of chairs in that like $900 to $1,200 price point that can do 85 to 90% of what the Embody does, but at like 60, 70% of the cost. And those chairs are really, really compelling, especially with the price of the Embody being so high. If you want to see me compare these chairs with, for example, the HAWORTH Fern, which I absolutely love, with the Steelcase Amia, which I'm testing right now. It's going to be a little while because I have a lot of videos lined up, but the Steelcase Amia, which again is a fantastic chair, make sure you guys let me know that in the comments down below, and I'll get to them, I promise, as fast as I'm able. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this one. Again, links will be down below. Pre-order the Atlas Headrest if you want. Use my code HONESTLY for $5 off when it's time to order. Until next time, stay safe, and as always, stay on.